Hello, Assalamu alaikum, adab, and welcome to. Where is it gone, the writing? Oh, there it is. Goff Shoff with EjaySam. Again, রীতিমতো আমি আইছি অনুষ্ঠান দিয়া বাঙালি টাইমে কথা আছে 10টার সময় স্টার্ট করতাম আর নারিং বিরিং হইয়া বাজে গেছে কি কয়টা 10:15. Oh well, as the saying goes, better late than never. So, আমরা অনুষ্ঠানটা ফুল স্পিডে হেড যাইবার আগে দেখি আমরা শেয়ার হইয়া অন্যজনরে এনজয় করার সুযোগ দেই. So let's see. আপনারা খেয়ে আসুন এই পর্যন্ত আমার লগে. Let's have a look. Right, okay. So, before we actually jump into তার মূল বিষয় ঢুকবার আগে আমি কুইকলি দুই একটা শেয়ার করে দিই. তো আমরা যারা আছেন তারাও দেখতে পারবা, দেখবার সুযোগ পাইবা. সো দেখি চাই সেমনি একটা করা যায় বা. Right, okay. So let's see now. That's one. The next one. And hopefully this should be the final share so we can start the show. Right, okay. Hopefully that should do the trick. Right. So let's see. আজকে কিতা বিষয় আমরা রাইট. সো যারা আমরা লগে নতুন যোগদান দিছুন অলরে জানাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম রহমতুল্লাহ, আদাব অ্যান্ড ওয়েলকাম. আজকের অনুষ্ঠানও আমরা আলাপ করবো দেখি সেইগুন ব্যাপারে. আমরা কি এই মহাশূন্যে এই জগতের মাঝে আমরা কি একা? মহাশূন্যের মাঝে ওই যে আসমানের মাঝে যত তারা আছে এগুলোর মধ্যে আর কোনো পৃথিবী আসেনি, আর যদি থাকিয়া থাকে তাহলে আর কোনো প্রাণী আসেনি এখানে. আর লাস্টে দিই আমরা আলাপ করবো ইউএফও আনআইডেন্টিফাইড ফ্লাইং অবজেক্ট কেউ দেখছ. ওকে, আর দেরি না হইয়া সামান্য কিছু এই গপসপ করিলাই আজ এই ব্যাপারে আর একটু ইনডেপথ যাই গিয়ে আমরা দেখা যাক. ও কমেন্ট অলরেডি আইছে, তো কুইকলি আমি পড়িলাই. মোহাম্মদ শাহজাহান ভাইয়া সালাম. ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম. Nice of you to join us. Chinese bhai asan assalamu alaikum bro bhai. Walaikum salam. Yeah, okay, I'm not saying that. Jackson mio asan salam EJ bhai. Walaikum salam. Fildo asan iba. Good. Asi Fildo. Good. Share guys. Yes, Chinese bhai hoida share guys. Amar kotha tumra huno na. No worries. But Chinese bhai kotha, how can you not? Sharing is caring. Absolutely. Your sound is not clear and loud. Okay, let me just quickly check the connection. Just bear with me 1 second. Right. How is this? Is this any better? Let me know, guys. I'm having to put my phone next to my ears to hear what you're saying. Okay, let's see. What has the sound improved, guys? Let me just double check the microphone. Yeah. Why is that? It's clear and loud. Good. That's brilliant. Fantastic news. Right. Oh, Chinese way of a food over. Naba, that food in native food a hamate tonight. Anyway, I'm the main subject of foil subject on the Zagi. Foil subject is are we alone? I'm the Kiaka. He's over to us, I'm the Kiaka. Good question. Good question. After Darona kita, after kita monogram. I'm the key is over to us, I'm the Kita Echlani. Obviously, I'm the Fuka Mahar, Bibinos at the Pranias and the Pretty Mose. Kintu অন্য মানে মহাশূন্যের মাঝে in space আর কোনো লাইফ আসেনি কি তা মনে করো আপনারা কমেন্ট দিয়ে জানাও কা right okay so far the sound ঠিক আছে তো let me know guys if the sound is all right from what I can see from the level meters, the level is quite decent. So on this side, as far as I can see, looks okay. The LED meters moving. Okay. So anyway, so what do you guys have to say about this? What do you think? Shazwan we're always alone, Sasa. Well, it depends in what context you're talking about. Are you alone personally, or do you feel alone as in not enough social interaction? Use Facebook more often. Oh, good sound, good. Assalamu alaikum, Afsar Khan Shab. Nice of you to join us. Very privileged to have you on the show, joining us. MashaAllah. So, guys, what do you think? Afnara kita darona. Amra ki eka. এই মহাবিশ্বের মাঝে আমরা কি একা আর কোনো ইন্টেলিজেন্ট লাইফ আসেনি বাইরে কিতা মনে করেন আপনারা এখানে আমরা চাইতাম না যে মানে রিলিজিয়াস ডিবেটও যাইতাম এটা হচ্ছে কি জেনারেল একটা আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং বা জেনারেল একটা বিশ্বাস সম্বন্ধে আলাপ আলোচনা করতাম আপনারা কিতা ধারণা and again এখানে নিচে যদি আপনারা ফোন করতে চান ফোনও করতে পারবা you can call into the show live again let me just clarify আমরা বিদেশ থেকে আমরা বাইরা হল দেখুন কিছু মিডল ইস্ট থেকে আমেরিকা রেস্ট অফ ইউরোপ ইত্যাদি তো আপনারা যদি ফোন করুন আর কি আপনারা বিল ফাটাইয়া উঠব সো না করাটাও ভালো আপনারা কমেন্টের মাধ্যমে আপনারা মন্তব্য জানাইবা আর এই দেশে যারা আসেন ইউকের মাঝে আপনারা ইনক্লুসিভ মিনিটসের মাঝে আপনারা ইনক্লুসিভ মিনিটস ইউজ করতে পারবা আমরা মোহাম্মদ শাহজাহান ভাই I use social media every day তারপরও একা বোধ হয় নিবা do you still feel alone even though you're using social media every day so guys let's jump into it this is a pretty serious subject. Are we alone in the universe, or is there intelligent life out there? Oh, assalamu alaikum Tanya Mia, thank you for joining us. Tanya Mia, if you have family, children, friends, you're never alone. Yes, absolutely. Let's not forget our pets, those of us who have little hamsters, parrots, canaries, cats, like me, we're never alone. Literally, when you're sleeping, they're chirping or scratching. They're doing something, one thing or another. Chinese way of reading, there always seems to be sightings of UFO, but never concrete evidence. Good point. Did you know, Chinese Bay, close to us, and there's a small town called Todmorden. You've heard of it, and most of you that are from the northwest, especially, আপনারা জানরা Todmorden town সম্বন্ধে. If you go on Google and put in speech mark Todmorden speech mark and then space and speech mark UFO speech mark, then you'd see, you know, like there's some concrete evidence, and there's also a reliable source where it came from. Let's see. Jackson, I have a request for you, EJ Bra, which is to raise an alarm to people to stay safeguarded at all time when being out, because I had problem last night. Jackson, we'll talk about that, and you know, we'll go into details about that. What the situation was. Afsar Khan Sabe Huida Wassalam Bhai, you're doing a very good program. Really proud of you. Keep carrying on the yeah, inshallah. Zotandare Jan mein dum hai. Someone's got to do it. Yes. So coming back to Jackson here, yeah, we'll talk about that. Give me another reminder in a little while. So let's see if anyone else has you know, anything to say about other life forms apart from humans, or earthly life forms like insects, animals, other mammals, etc., etc. Chinese way of reader, they must be causing flooding at my mate's restaurant. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Your mate there, I think they're after something. He must be doing some good cooking, mighty good cooking. Don't mention any names, you know, for obvious reasons. But yeah, we need to go and check it out, brah. In Todbudan, yes, I know, in Todbudan. Yeah, I know very well. So, oh, here we go. Muhammad Shazwan, I believe in aliens. Okay, elaborate. Tell us a bit more. Why do you believe in aliens? Why do you think, you know, there is a possibility of intelligent alien life forms? Oh, Jackson Meahuida, two people wearing balaclavas and black coloured Goff TDI tinted out windows tried to force and chase me along, right, tried to force me into their car and then chase me along into a road at around 9 o'clock and 9:30. Oh, that's a serious incident. You know, have you reported it to the police? You know, give us some more info. You know, obviously, it could be, you know, have you reported it to police? It could be a racially motivated attack. You know, you really need to get in touch with the police, because it could be a racially motivated attack, and at the moment, you know, every single report makes a difference. When you're starting your own comedy show, I need co-comedians. You're funny. Are you volunteering? Maybe you could, you know, bring one handesh, one samosa, and one nunir bora, and we can split it amongst the whole cast and crew. Right, so going back to Shazon, let's see. What did he say? Yeah, so Shazon was saying he believes in aliens. So, give us more info, bro. Oh, Bats, sorry. Give us more info, Bats. Let's see. How do you reckon there's alien life form? Is there a good argument to back it up? Because on every I say, nah, there couldn't be any life. You know, we're unique. I say, well, you know, there's different trains of thought. So, you know, let's hear your train of thought. You know, how do you think, you know, aliens are here, and well, aliens exist, and what's your logic behind it? And let's see now. Mohammed Shazwan Huida, you need a topic on safekeeping. Yeah, we'll have a discussion on that, on you know, how to be safe on the streets, especially with the racially motivated hate crime on the rise. I'll actually try and do a show with a friend of mine who works in collaboration with the Greater Manchester Police, and I'll see if I can get him onto the show, and you know, he'll go through a few things, you know, like a few pointers, and hopefully that should be an interesting topic. So keep your suggestions coming, guys, about future programs. You know, and you know, obviously, you know, like, I look at every comment, and you know, I take your your suggestions on board. Jackson, it was a random attack, and there were two previous attacks. Right. So, Jackson Mia, it was just a random attack, and you're saying there were two previous attacks. Was it on you, or you know, people you know in the area, and most importantly, were they reported to the police? Because the police definitely need to know. Without these statistics, the police won't actually think of it as a high priority thing. So it's important that you actually notify the police at the earliest you know, chance you get. Chinese way of reader, could you post the Todd Wooden link? Yeah, why not? You know, there's quite a few actually around England. I'll look them up and post it in a separate post as a follow-up post. Jackson Reader Guitar. One almost happened. 13-year-old girl on Entwistle Road 2 weeks ago. One woman got dragged out of her car last week upon Newbold at the traffic lights near the car showroom, and last night with me. Right, these incidents seriously need to be reported, Jackson. If you know who the other victims were, try and urge them, you know, to come forward and, you know, give as much detail. It could be the same perps, or it could be a group of perps, you know, just going around, you know, being idiots. I wanted to use stronger words, but you know, because it's a family show, I'm trying to keep it PG-13, if you will. Yeah, good advice by Shazwan Mia, Mohammed Shazwan. Jackson Mia, you should have kept the reg number. Yes, absolutely. My message to everyone out there is, you know, obviously be safe. Never walk after dark. Never travel or walk alone. If you're in the car, make sure that you have your central locking on, so anyone can out from the outside can never open your door. And if you're stuck at a traffic light, that's when most of the carjackings happen. Secondly, sometimes, you know, like if anyone throws an egg on your windscreen, do not, bold, underlined, do not put your windscreen wiper on or your windscreen washer on, because when water mixed with a tiny bit of alcohol and antifreeze mixes together with the proteins in the egg, it actually causes it to milk up. So essentially what happens is you get a thick layer of white paste on your windscreen, and you can't go anywhere. So please remember, guys, if you get an egg thrown at your windscreen, do not use your wiper. Instinctively you would, you know, you want to, you know, like use your wiper and your window wash, but try not to do it, because if you do, as the wipers go across with the water, it mixes and it partially emulsifies, which basically sort of partially cooks the egg white, if you will, which turns into a milky, creamy substance, and it covers your windscreen, and you know, you can't see anything out. Then you're more vulnerable So that's just one thing. And like I say, you know, I have a friend, you know, like we'll bring him in one day on a specific show. I'll let you guys know way in advance and keep you updated. Subscribe continuously when I update the thing, so you guys don't miss it. Right, okay, should go. Ahmed Ali, walaikum salam. I'm alright, bye. How are you? You know, long time no see. It's great for you to join us. I hope you're having a bit of a blast. I know we haven't even gone into the subject yet because I'm the off topic matilaram. But yeah, nice of you to join us. Please invite Saj on the show to talk about safekeeping. He has a lot of knowledge. Yeah, actually, you know, coincidentally, it just happens to be Saj that I was planning on bringing him over. But you know, I know he's very busy at the moment. He's working with various different charities and he's doing a lot of travelling. So it's all about, you know, like him when he can actually, you know, like sort of make some time for me to come on the show. Sajma would be good to talk about safeguarding. Yeah. Mohammed Shazan, it's buffering Sasa. On my side, it's looking all right. So far, so good. I'm just checking the monitor. Yeah, so far so good. Refresh, bats. That's all I can say. You know, refresh your Facebook and come back onto the feed. Ashik Miabai. Assalamu alaikum, Ashik Miabai. Nice of you to join us. I hope you're in good health. Ashik Miabai, I believe there is life out there in the universe because the universe is so vast. Intelligent life is rare, but I believe primitive life, i.e. plant, microlife, bacterial life, is common. We just need to look for it. Ashik Bhai, I'm totally in agreement with you. You see, on this topic, essentially what happens is that আমরা যদি মনে করুকা বিকালে আমরা আশপানেতে থাকাই আশপানেতে যাই, what do we see? We see many stars, অনেক তারা। ও আমরা যে সূর্যটা আছে, you know, our sun is also a star. So এই লজিক যদি আমরা ফলো করি, যদি আমরা আর সূর্যটা একটা তারা হইয়া থাকে, একটা স্টার হইয়া থাকে, তাইলে এত কোটি তারা যে আসমানের মাঝে আছে, their stars, their suns to a planetary system. Some planetary systems, you know, have, I don't know, I think the highest that has been noted is 18 satellites. So it could be 18 planets with 18 individual orbits. 18 individual orbits, and then you have orbits within orbits, because you'd have satellites going around each of those planetary bodies. Now, under the solar system, obviously, we're intelligent, obviously, and therefore, you know, we're using our brains, our ingenuity to invent things to make life easy. For example, today we're on Facebook, which was, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg creation, but prior to that, you know, the internet was created through which this stream is traveling to Facebook. You know, if all men are created equal, then obviously the only limiting factor is knowledge, because if there was no limit, then everyone would have been a doctor, a scientist, a crafty accountant, maybe even, you know, everyone would have been equal. So therefore, yes, we happen to be intelligent. We evolved from microorganisms, bacteria, single-celled organisms. Life started in the sea, according to science. And like I said, you know, I don't want to go into I don't want to go into a religious debate. I'm just looking at what science has taught us, what makes sense through science. So it's a change that happened over a millennium, you know, not a millennium, millennia, you know, many thousands, millions of years. Some people argue, well, if we evolved from single-celled organisms, then why are there still single-celled organisms? It's called mutation. Some cells mutated into something else which is better suited or adapted to its environment or its purpose, and the others that didn't mutate, they were content with what they were doing. So in one sense you can say algae is like a billion years down the line could be, you know, I don't know, Steve Jobs. So yeah, you know, like that's my thought. And you know, we also live in the, where our planet is, planet Earth is in a habitable zone where it's like the Goldilocks story. You know, everyone's heard of Goldilocks. It's either too hot, too cold, or just warm. And we're in that sort of band, if you will. You know, we're in that band where it's not too hot, like Mercury, for example. Mercury is too warm, too hot for us to live in. Another good example would be Neptune. Neptune is too cold for us. So in the habitable zone, as they call it, is, or the just right zone, is Earth and our next door neighbour, which is Mars. So anyway, I'm going to stop blabbering on. I'm going to let you guys, you know, like sort of put your comments and thoughts through. Let's see, you know, like where we go and what kind of arguments we can come up with. Let's see. Ashima with a great topic, EjaySam. Thank you for the topic. Oh no. It's all for entertainment purposes, and you are most welcome, sir. As long as you're entertained, I've achieved my goal. Yes, going back to safeguarding, yeah, true. Jackson, now the subject of aliens. Whoever believes life out there in the universe or galaxy, for argument's sake, there is no such thing of alien species. Jackson, why do you think that? I'm just being the devil's advocate, okay? আমি বুঝতাম চাইলাম যে এটা কোন যুক্তির মাঝে তুমি ওখানে কইছো যে অত বড় মহাশূন্য স্পেস, এই স্পেসের মাঝে আর যে কোনো প্রাণী থাকতে পারে না বা ইন্টেলিজেন্ট প্রাণী থাকতে পারে না, এটা কি লাগান কি তা হচ্ছে বাপটা বুঝতাম চাই। So Jackson says there's no such thing as life on Mars or any other planets out there. Okay, you know, I'm not going to argue with you, but you know, there must be a reason why you think this. So help us understand, because you know there are a few viewers that aren't sure, so they're not commenting. কিছু viewer also, you know, like they're just waiting to see what others say. যাতে তারার একটা মানে জ্ঞান বাড়ে. So yeah, tell us. Afzul Mia, let's see. So going back to the topic on UFOs, I'm sure NASA will be able to find something with all the technological advances. Do you agree? Well, I would imagine so, but the question is NASA willing to, you know, tell us Joe Publics that there is UFOs, or there are constant comings and goings of various different alien species, you know, to and from Earth? I don't know. I mean, if the knowledge was sort of out there, would people start panicking? I don't know. What do you think? I also believe there is microlife and bacterial life in our own solar system. Yeah. As a matter of fact, going back a few years, I think there was an announcement. An announcement was made on moon dust. Now, if I do a conspiracy, oh, I forgot my brew. Right, okay, cold brew. There are you know, a lot of people that tara khorje andar chondreno je jokhon tara 1969 o tara gesi Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, tara je muno gesi ita fake, ita khamoka, ita tara ekta natok khorje. Well, I don't know. Uto vare. You know, I was very young then, so you know, I wasn't really into that sort of gobbledygook. But I don't know. It makes sense, doesn't it? You know, they've actually made it travel because back then it was all about a technological advancement war, not killing each other, but it was more of a race. অসম্ভব করতে পারে আশিক ভাই যে হইনা নানি যে মাইক্রো লাইফ বা ব্যাকটেরিয়াল লাইফ আছে এটা আমি 100% এগ্রি করি কারণ ফর এক্সাম্পল আমি হওয়াত আসলাম যে মুন ডাস্ট বা মুন রক্স যখন তারা আনছে ফিরত ওগুন্ডে বাইঙ্গা দেখা গেছে যে কিছু ব্যাকটেরিয়াল ফসিল পাওয়া গেছে আর bacteria যখন কিতা করে you know like on the dust কিছু mineral deposit হয় so ইগুনতে না কিছুটা প্রমাণ মিলছে it's not hard proof but it's pointing towards indication of life. So দেখি Shazwan Mia, what about stars? Yes, like I said, again, যতটা তারা আছে every single তারা প্রত্যেকটা স্টার হইছে গিয়া আমরা সানের মতো, লাইক আমরা সূর্যের মতো। তো যদি না নি প্রত্যেকটা let's do a quick math, for example, a quick math. অনেক মনে করো যদি আমরা 100টা তারা থাকে, 100টা তারার মাঝে what's the likelihood of having life? Now, questions we'll have to look at our own solar system. Solar, manu is the sun. System is anything that's working with it. So, আমরা solar system যদি মনে করো আমরা planet হতে এটারে সব করতে, it's because of the gravitational pull. নাইলে তো ওলাহান সক্কর দিয়া জানানি would have slingshot out to, you know, like space or something. But because of the constant spinning of the sun on its own axis, it's creating a force which is pulling the other items to go around it, which in effect creates its own orbit. And then the same happens as it goes around out of every single ring. So it helps, you know, like keep all the other planets, you know, on their own spinning axis, but at the same time traveling around in an orbit. So if that's the case in our solar system, why couldn't there be one out there? Maybe 1 in 100. If there is 1 in 100, and let's say for argument's sake, all these solar systems were created at the Big Bang. When the Big Bang happened, you know, gases expanded, and it basically is like an expanding balloon. So space is constantly expanding, and galaxies are drifting away slowly from each other. So if that's the case, then there's a good likelihood that আমরা solar system লাগান অন্যান্য solar system তৈরি হইছে আর ওই যে একটু আগে গোল্ডিলক এফেক্টস কইলাম না যে এক পরিজিসিকা বেশি গরম আর এক পরিজিসিকা বেশি ঠান্ডা আর এক পরিজিসিকা একেবারে একদম স্পট অন na gorom na tanda ita khawar vuzi. The amdar nani solar system or uruhum system. The amdar it's just right for life. So the chances of that happening is actually, you know, huge if you think about it. So if we were to use a calculation, for example, say, let's say this is the center of the Big Bang, and it travels out, say, I don't know, let's say for argument's sake, 1 light year, the speed of 1 light year in a space of, say, 3 months. So essentially it's expanding times 3/4. So it's expanding at that. So if that's the case, then it's moving out. And if Earth, you know, like our solar system evolved here, and the ones that are moving outwards, they could evolve there, but after, you know, like the speed and the time, this same evolution could take place out there. But because they all moved from the center outwards, they're far away from us, and therefore we don't have the technology or telescopes powerful enough to actually see that far. So what are your thoughts? Anyone, you know, like, please jump in. You know, I'd like to hear from you guys. Ashikbayahwina also believe there is microlife and bacterial life in our own solar system. The moon planets of Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune must have some sort of bacterial life. Also Mars has water, so there could be life up there too. Yeah. Water essentially has the the basic building blocks of life, and even if it doesn't sort of evolve into complex life like us, bacterial life definitely. Now, when we look back, there's a couple of documentaries on Mars, and people hypothesize, they imagine what Mars was like when Mars actually had an atmosphere. And according to that, Mars was pretty close to Earth, but sadly, it lost its atmosphere because of, solar flares and so on and so forth. And eventually, like all their, I think it's called the magnetosphere. I'm not quite sure, I forgot. It's not coming to me. But, essentially where the north and south pole emit, magnetic energy. And essentially, on Earth, that magnetic energy forms a sort of a barrier around Earth. And when we get solar flares, coming, that's when we get, like the aurora borealis, like those nice, like dancing lights on the horizon. And that's essentially, like light ions bouncing off, magnetic energy, and as that happens, it creates friction and exchange of positive and negative ions, and once that happens, that we actually get to see in the form of light. So because we have a magnetic force field, if you will, that's why our atmosphere is still sort of intact. Now, Mars also had something like this, but eventually the atmosphere was just blown away. Now the question is, no one has actually answered this. The question is, was there enough, was the atmosphere there enough or long enough to actually let life evolve to its potential, similar to us? Yet to be answered. Mizan Rahman, me and my dad and a few colleagues saw a UFO spaceship about 20 years ago. Oh, go on. Tell us about it, Mizan Bhai. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to hear about that. Tell us about your experiences with UFOs and so on. You know, has anyone seen any UFOs? Do you guys believe in UFOs? What is, you know, like your understanding of UFOs? What could it be? You know, I'm not going to put any ideas in anyone's heads, but I'm just saying, you know, like, could it be extra dimensional stuff? As in, okay, let's say, right, there's no other intelligent life out there, for example, and if we were to say, for example, there's no planets up there, but there are parallel universes, as in there are many Earths like us, but they are resonating, you know, they're vibrating at a different frequency, and because of that, you know, we can't see it, and sometimes it could even explain ghosts as well. It could be, I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, let me know, guys. Righty ho. Let's see. Right, guys. Another thing that I need to ask you guys is that I need some likes from you. I need you guys to comment and interact. আপনারা বাংলায়ও লিখতে পারবা, আমি মোটামুটি কিছু করতাম পারি, বাংলায়ও কমেন্ট করতে পারবা, আপনারা ফ্রেন্ড শেয়ার করবা ভিডিওরে, যত বেশি আপনারা শেয়ার করবা তত বেশি মানুষে দেখবার সুযোগ পাইবা। প্লাস আপনারা যদি লাইক দেন ভিডিও প্লাস পেজের মাঝে, আমার একটা উৎসাহী বাড়লো, কারণ যদি লাইকস মিলে না আর পেজও যদি মানুষ ফলো করে না, দেন আমার কাছে লাগবো যে কেউরা আসলে পছন্দ লাগেন না। তো পছন্দ যদি লাগে না, তে খামোখা আমার টাইম ওয়েস্টিং করে তো কোনো ফায়দা নেই, ঠিক না নি? তো hit the like button, share, comment, follow যদি না নি, tag a few people, invite a few people over. It's like, you know, if you tag and, you know, invite one person, that's a lot. You know, if we have, how many people have we got on now? We've got 6. They're dropping like flies. So we've got 6. If we had 6 people, you know, tagging a friend, inviting a friend over, that 6 could have been 12. Right. Oh, my Syed, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Thank you for joining us this evening. And as you probably know, we're talking about are we alone? Is there any intelligent life out there in the universe? And whether or not anyone has seen any UFOs. Dun dun dun. So let's start sharing our experiences with UFOs, or at the same time, you know, maybe get an idea, you know, or any stories that we've heard, maybe even on the internet, and, you know, let's chat about that. Oh, Maya Said has invited her Gushti. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And I don't know who your Gushti is, but salam to all Maya Said's Gushti. I hope everyone's all right. And you guys, I need you guys to hit that like button as if there's no tomorrow. Right, okay. So let's see now. What about let's see, alien abductions? Ita সম্বন্ধে আপনার ধারণা কিটা? Monohruka. I'm just going to adjust the microphone a bit. Excuse me, sorry. There we go. Hopefully that should be better. What about? Oh, Chinese Bay is from my Gushti as well. Oh, go on. Chinese Bay was here a moment ago. I think he's going to brew up and, you know, make some popcorn. Don't know. Well, he should be back. So going back on track, আপনারা কিতা ধারণা এলিয়েন অবডাকশনের সম্বন্ধে? এমন কোনো কাহিনী আপনারা শুনছেননি যে কেউ কোনো জায়গাত গেছলা বা যাওয়ার পরে যখন আখটা লক্ষ্য হইছে খেয়াল হইছে হঠাৎ হইরা মাইন্ডে না যাইছে যে আমার লাগে যেমন ঘন্টা 2 ঘন্টা মিসিং লাগে, এই ধরনের কোনো কিছু কোনো ঘটনা আপনারা কেউ শুনছেননি? Tahir Ahmed Hussain, how are you, bhai? Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Yes, very good, thank you, sir. Sonia Ahmed ji, salam EjaySam bhai, and everyone else, wa alaikum salam. Thank you for joining us. I mean, আমরা জানতাম আপনি একটু হেরানিতে আসুন, বর্তমানে বিভিন্ন জিনিস লইয়া হেরানিতে আসুন। আশা করি আপনার হেরানি কিছুটা আসান হইছে, আর বাদ বাকি আর কি দরকার গুড়ার ইনজেকশন লাগাইবা। You'll know what I mean. Oh, we have a caller. Let's see who it is. Hello, assalamu alaikum caller. Khe huida kunam tuna huida. Khe huida, sorry. Oh, assalamu alaikum. Kita khobor ba? Balani. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Joy. Joy sinchi আপনারা চিনবো না গিলা।
Thank you very much. আপনার ফুল রাউন্ড দেখি।
Thank you. আপনার কিতাব ফোনের ভলিউমটা একটু কমাইবা খালি কি ফিডব্যাক হয়।
আমি দেখো যাচ্ছি। আমি জানি যে আপনি লাইভ প্রোগ্রাম করবেন বা আপনার দেখানো যে প্রোগ্রাম ভালো লাগে
Thank you, sir. Oh, sina লাগে ওই sina লাগে এর বিচারা রে। তাই নো সুপারস্টার। জি এটা লাইক দিছি। No problem. আমার তো আসলে তেমন কিচ্ছু না, আমি আস্তে ব্লাফ মাইরে এটা চলে যাই। আমি সাধারণত বুধবারে আমি কিছু সময় পাই, অনেক সময় সমস্যা যায় কি মানে খামের কারণে আর কি, মানে শো আমি রেগুলার করতাম পারি না, তো চেষ্টা করি আর কি মানে দুই হপ্তাহ পর আমি মানে এটারে চালু রাখতাম। অনেকজনে আসলে থামসাল লাগি বালা পায়। মাঝে মাঝে থামসা হয়। Mashallah, thank you, sir. মারুফ ভাই এক কাম করবা, নেক্সট কোনো প্রোগ্রাম যদি করার খেয়াল থাকে না নি আমার ইনবক্স করে দিবা। ইনবক্স করলে না আমি চেষ্টা করবো, আমি সময় কইটা আমি আপনার লগে বুঝতাম। না ওকে আছে, নো প্রবলেম। আর তো কানি লাগতো নাই আমি আর তো কানি লাগতো না ফেসবুক না নি মেসেজ দিলেইলু খামবনি বুঝি
Yeah, last time I tried many times to send a message, but today I'm not message dana.
আচ্ছা
Ano ono ke amay na ke message.
ওকে নো প্রবলেম আমি কিতা করব না আমি ফ্রেন্ড রিকোয়েস্ট লেটার অন আমি আজকে ফাটাই মনে
Alright.
আর বদরুল ভাই তো মনে হয় অলরেডি আমার ফ্রেন্ড লিস্টও আসো
Time lo alam por but time point to jane ajam ko mune mat. But that time when na pairam na. After to mo ga jong na to main haro na. After to
no worries yeah ফাইবা আমিও কিতা করব না শোর বাদে না নি আমিও কিতা করব না ফ্রেন্ড রিকোয়েস্ট আসতে স্যার মনে
Thank you very much, Mr.
No problem. I look forward to doing a show with you guys. আপনারা আসলে খুব দারুণ মজার প্রোগ্রাম হল করুন না no politics খালি neutral program আর আপনারা লইয়া আসলে আমি খুব আগ্রহী কাম করতে ইনশাআল্লাহ Okay. Thank you, Maruf bhai. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Oops. Maybe a little bit out of context, out of subject, but there you go. Collaborative work after এগুলো আমরা যে ভাইয়া ফোন করছি না বিচারার একটা পেজ আছে তারাও অনেক সময় মানে কিছু লাইভ অনুষ্ঠান করুন মানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের সাবজেক্ট নিয়ে তারাও আলাপ আলোচনা করুন আমার প্রিভিয়াস কলিগ জড়িত আছেন এটার মাঝে আর তারাও নাটকও করছেন সো I'll forward the link on one of my posts so আপনারাও দেখবানে আপনারাও ফলো করবা বাকা মজার অনুষ্ঠান হল হইরা তখন তারা so back to the show let's see Abdullah Al Rashid Mazu Khoiba Batti জ্বালাইয়া পাই না খইতা খোয়াই খাইল তাইন কইরা আপনি ভূতের মাত্রা না বা আমি ভূতের মাত নাই আমি এলিয়নের মাত্রা বুঝছো নি এলিয়ন Raju Ahmed Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam how are you Raju bhai thank you for joining us আপনার কিতা আপনার মনে কিতা খর are we alone is there life out there in the universe and do you have any experience or do you know anyone who has experience of seeing a UFO whether it's close encounter of the first second or third kind please let us know it'll be interesting to know Raju bhaiya and EJ is very knowledgeable. I wouldn't go that far. Like I say, sometimes I'm a bluff because obviously I don't have knowledgeable people on my sides, you see. So honestly, I'm bluff so there's no one to correct me. So let's see. Nabai, I'm not okay. I think it's affecting me. Right, wish me luck. I'm hanging there for 2 more days. So yeah, I'm abroad. Are things that bad, Sonia Ahmed G? Wow, it sounds really bad that. And please, can you give the Quran injection? As you know, yes, yeah. I do. That's true. You might get free rent-free accommodation, albeit a very small room, but rent-free accommodation. And the bonus is you'll get fed 3 times a day. You'll also get nice clean laundry. You'd get time to time gaming time to time gym time. As a matter of fact, come to think of it, why don't we all start giving Gurar injection left, right and centre and everyone end up in the same hotel? You have your own personal concierge, someone who comes out like to attend to every whim. Okay, maybe not every whim, but most whims in our lives. How many times does that happen? No, we end up serving others, but no one comes to serve us. Maybe that's another topic to discuss on another day. Is it socially and morally acceptable for people to go to jail just to get a free ticket in life? And what about the people who work hard and try to, like really, really hard grafting to try and make ends meet and live a decent life? That could be a topic for a future discussion. Don't know. What do you guys think? Right. Mohammed Shazana Huida. Sasa, is the music show gone? Yes, Bats. Unfortunately, it has. As you probably know, and our MBS cinemas here, we've been giving out adverts, putting adverts out for new talent to come forward. Now, essentially, it's down to personal preference, really. I can't force anyone to come and do performances. And essentially what happened, আমরা যে আগে অনুষ্ঠান করছি, আমরা পরিচিত ফ্রেন্ড বন্ধুরা রেডিয়া আমরা গানের অনুষ্ঠান করছি, বাট আমরা বারবার যদি তারা রেডিও আমরা অনুষ্ঠান করি, it ends up being a bit boring, as in you see the same people day in day out, day in day. All right, fair enough, it's being rotated, as in like after every 2 weeks, the same person comes on and so on and so forth. But that wasn't the idea for MBS. The idea was that when we were in a band, when we used to sing, when we used to do music, no one helped us, no one backed us, no one gave us encouragement. And the idea of MBS was to give encouragement because no one gave us the encouragement. Back then we had the potential to do something, become something, but because of lack of encouragement, we didn't carry on with it. Whereas people now, they're actually doing something, so we're trying to encourage them and using our viewer base to actually promote them. We're not asking for any money off them. It's all voluntary. It's basically to sort of capture the audiences of various different social groups that we have. For example, under Ashik Miabai, he's like the founder of Keep the Passion for Baul Music, or at the moment it's known as oh my god, my memory is so bad. Bangla Music. Forgive me, Ashik Miabai, if you're watching. I forgot, man. Shame on me. But he's got a huge following. We use links from that to promote the musicians and singers. We use obviously our page, I Love Bangladesh, and there are a few other like groups, social media groups, social media groups, and all that combined with we reached to I think the highest we reached was 98,000 viewers. That's phenomenal, especially with a very infant idea that we came up with, with the help of our friends, like sharing, tagging, inviting, commenting. At one point we reached 98,000 viewers. Can you imagine? What an achievement that is. Now, this was like the idea, so that in the future আমরা competition করতাম in the northwest, because all the talent seems to be down south, in London, and it looks like we've got nothing here in the northwest. And that's the idea, to help nurture, direct, help, give them a helping hand, push. But no one's coming forward. So if no one's coming forward, we have nothing to present to you guys, and therefore we don't do music. We're not doing music for the time being until such time comes that we get enough musicians interested. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do it at all. There could be like sponsored events, because we have such a good following. We could work in collaboration with other groups, and then create an event, a ticketed event, and then maybe we can use money generated from that for charities, local charities, and probably someone from these associated groups would actually go out and do the handouts, whether it's food parcels, clothes, or various other relief materials, etc., etc. But these plans fell through. It didn't work because that was the original idea, to bring on artists, promote them, let people be entertained at the same time, promote these guys so that they make a name for themselves, and in the process we actually promote আমরা Bengali culture, promote Bengali heritage, musical heritage. And in the future I was thinking of holding like competitions, probably 6 months down the line. That was my intention, hold competitions, but at the moment it's gone stalemate, nothing's moving, so I'm just leaving it at that. I hope that answered your question, Shazon. My essay de Huida, what's aliens in Bengali, please? That is a fantastic question. I have no idea, but if you hold on a second, I'm going to try and consult the wise Google. Let's see. Google, oh Google, what is an alien? Google is thinking. Right, so Google has come up with porok, as in not mine, someone else's, which I'm not too sure about that translation. Bideshi, someone from not from this place. Forokyo, again, like it's more leaning towards foreign. Bemanan, incompatible, incongruous, patchy, awkward, also possibly alien. Bideshik, foreign, external, overseas, alien. And what? Nijashonoyamon. Okay, I'm still not getting it. Nope. Orstanic. Nope, I'm not too sure about this one. I don't think Bangla actually has a word for alien. I hope that answers your question. After consulting the wise Google. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Chrome. Right. Sonia Ahmed, oh yes, defo I will, okay. Jackson Regita Huida. Gurar injection from John Mental Asylum. Okay, fair enough. Oh, Chinese EjaySam, planet Earth has existed for a very, very long time. I'm surprised they still haven't come down to say hello. Well, it depends how far they live and whether they have evolved in parallel with us. So if they have evolved in parallel with us, I would say, logically thinking, like if we know that the speed of light is 1,86,000 miles per second, then once 60 seconds makes a minute, 60 minutes makes a hour, 24 hour makes a day, 7 days makes a week, 52 weeks makes a year. So if we were to times those, like constantly with 186,000 miles per second, then what we would end up with is something in the region of, oh dear, my maths is so poor. I would say something in the region of the power of 10. Okay, so it would essentially take that long for someone who hasn't yet invented a warp drive, if you will. Anything that warps space in front of it, bends it inwards, so that 2 points are actually closer together rather than literally being, you know, at their supposed space. So unless someone invents a warp drive which warps space, or better still, you know, if you were to say you wanted to travel from this end to that end, the closest, the quickest way is, logically, you're just traveling across, aren't you? Now, if there was, you know, like movies like Star Trek, for example, Star Trek tend to use a warp drive with it. Essentially, it bends space. So essentially, what it does, it moves this point and this point closer together, and therefore they're literally basically hopping from one end to another, and that cuts the travel time, and that's where warp speed, theoretically, it can go up to a factor of 9.8, if you will, which is a ludicrous amount of numbers. I'm not even going to attempt to do, you know, it's just stupid. But essentially, that's the thing. Now, to answer your question, providing that these alien life forms or alien beings have evolved in parallel with Earth and their planet, bearing in mind that the universe is constantly expanding, so by the time we made a calculation based on the expansion of space and the distance from us to them, we're drifting apart. So the more we drift apart, the longer it will take for them to come. Now imagine if we evolved at a far later time than those intelligent people. Now let's hypothesize, for example. Let's say the only reason why aliens aren't, you know, like sort of coming and visiting us in an obvious manner is, I'm sorry to say, but because of us humans being dumb enough to elect people like Donald Trump to be a world leader. I mean, if we're so thick, I know I don't usually talk about politics, but I just had to point this out. If we're thick enough to, you know, put a cartoon character in the White House, then why should aliens make themselves obvious or appear to us? Because, you know, we're like proper dumb people, you know, dumb race of people. You know, even if they did come in peace, the first thing that, you know, like Trump's administration would do is blast them out of the sky. So it's going to be, rather than a friendly thing, I'll leave the rest to your imagination. So hopefully that partially answers your question. Maya here, it's multitasking, good. Sunny Ahmed, let me know if you do a show on this via Messenger or WhatsApp, as I'm not on Facebook all the time. Many thanks. Yes, I will. If we do any shows on mental health issues, again, you know, like I say, you know, like I don't have that much knowledge on most subjects. So in those circumstances, I tend to ask knowledgeable friends who work in the field to come on. And inshallah, I will do. Yeah, I will do. I'll definitely let you know. Jackson Mia, I was there back in 2002 when I was 14, and the child, adolescent unit for 6 months. All right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Muhammad Shazanowira, bring Astor Sasa. Yeah, can do. I might actually be threatened. He might hijack my show. Jackson Mia says, bring a Hadbai for songs. Yes, I can do. So let's say, for example, if Ahad plays, I don't know, let's say I plays the tabla, for example, and I play the harmonium. That's only two instruments. We need a few more musicians to play other instruments. See, we've thought of that, and it's not working out, mate. Bring Angurmia, he's busy. That guy is so busy, you know, with kids and so on, and you know, he's got some projects of his own, which is fantastic projects. You know, watch the space. There's some really good projects coming up in the new year. Bring in everyone else. If I bring everyone else, it'll be the same thing again and again and again. There won't be no difference. Cold coffee, I forgot about it. So, what's he saying now? The Chinese guy? Alright. Chromie's my sass, right. Thank you for the translation, may I say. You're most welcome. I tried to, you know, like, pick my brains. There wasn't much left of it, so I had to consult the wise Google. Right, okay, let's see. After watching the movie Aliens, they have got far. Yes. Okay, that's a good point. Let's talk about the xenomorphs of the Alien movie. Now, the Alien movie came out back in... When was it? I think it was the first Alien movie came out back in 1979. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just picking this notion I've got in my head. I think it's 1979. 1979 or 81 or something. It's around that period. And the idea that, you know, an animal that has an exoskeleton which is tough and also has blood, you know, acid for its blood, is a wonderful idea. You know, just think of it. If that's the case, you know, we're carbon-based life forms, and because we're carbon-based, mostly our genetic makeup requires us to absorb energy through oxygenation. I can't even say it. The transport of oxygen to our cells, which actually basically sort of powers our the mitochondria and so on and so forth. That gives us energy to divide, energy to, you know, work, eat, and so on and so forth. But the way the xenomorphs have actually evolved is they're very protective, as in at one point of their evolution it looks like they had less protection, if you will. And as they evolved, because they were like bigger predators, you know, hunting them, they developed, you know, acid, in terms of if say, for example, if an animal were to, you know, like, bite one of these aliens, these xenomorphs' arms or legs or something, as soon as as soon as they bite it, you know, there'll be a squirt of acid. Once that hits that animal who bit it, if it survives, it's definitely going to go and tell his thingy. He's going to call a town meeting. He's going to say, "Hear thee, hear thee, hear thee. Whatever you do, do not bite into a xenomorph's leg. It burnt my face off." And the same, you know, like, the idea is a very valid one. You know, jokes aside, it's a very valid one. Look at snakes. There are so many different species of snakes. You know, let's talk about Asia and the Bangladesh snakes. You know, there's so many snakes around, but different snakes have different levels of venom, and that's because of where their original habitat is. The cobra essentially is a jungle animal. It's a its habitat is basically in the thick jungle, so it needs to protect itself from, I don't know, tigers and all that stuff. You know, other animals that, you know, eat boars and so on and so forth. So they developed a venom where they bite, and then you know, they bite and disable their predator, and then the snakes become the predator by, you know, like taking their time and having an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if that could happen in real life, it's only logical to think that somewhere out there could be a life form that has evolved with, you know, a unique defense system. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I think if it was round, we would have fallen off. All right. So you're talking about the world. If it was round, you would fall. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. These scholars and, you know, these guys, they're off their heads. Seriously. You know, the world is on a flat. It's, you know, the maps that we get from, you know, like the shops and all that. It's, you fold it out and you put it on top of your table. That's the world, mate. Don't let anyone tell you that it's round. It's a load of cobble wallop. Tahir Abner, Moshin, nice topic, brother. Thank you very much, sir. Again, you know, you guys are legends in your own thing. Like I say, you know, I'd love to work with you guys. Inshallah, I'll get in touch. Ejay, nice camouflage top. My eyes are hurting. Yes. Does it hurt when I move around? I don't know. This was totally random, this. And the funny thing is, you know, this cover's been on, I think, about 3 weeks now. And the funny thing is, no one uses this room. You know, I just leave, you know, like my stands and lights around. No one uses this room. It's like an abandoned room. So it's just me, you know, like every now and then I sit down, have a nice cuppa, have some alone time. Try polarized shades. They might help. Sonia, no, I meant what will happen if someone gave a Gurari injection to a mental person and the special treatment they get in return. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe between you and me, you know, shh, don't tell anyone. How about we try it out? Let's see what the results say. Right, back to everyone. Coffee, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Coffee. Injection, that Gurari injection makes you go more nutty. Yes. Maybe in a milder way, but yeah. I couldn't say, to be honest with you. I need to experience it for myself and see, you know, like, does your mental processes, as in, you know, your thinking processes, still fire up, but you're just too knackered, you know, to enact your thoughts. I don't know. Need to try it out. Sonia, she's saying there's a lot more nutty person. Well, right, okay. Well, you know, some people have all the luck, and you seem to be very lucky. Good for you. Maybe it is time to whip up the Gurari injection. Sonia Ahmed saying, please never do a show on snakes, please. If we do, we'll let you know. Funnily enough, someone was actually, you know, like, when was it? I think it was last week, over the weekend. I was talking to someone and I was reading a paper, and on the paper, you know, scientists say that plants have a lot in common with animals. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting, that, because even though, you know, like, botanical life and biological life is two different categories, it still makes sense, because essentially they're absorbing nutrients. And what is there to say that, because we haven't studied it so far, that, you know, if we were to emit very strong light, whether the plants, you know, react, and so on and so forth. Anyway, coming to that thingy, what I was going to say is, if we were to, you know, like, do a comparison, we still have a lot in common, although we don't really think of it that way. You know, do we think about trees being sentient beings? No, I don't think so. You know, how many people actually, you know, like, wonder before stepping on the grass, oh, is the grass screaming? No, I don't think so. So, you know, like, it's quite interesting to actually see, you know, these things. Right, okay. So, like I say, you know, like, there could be a show, you know, in the future, you know, comparing the two, botanical and biological, and see, you know, like, in terms of evolution, since we evolved from single-celled life. Now, single-celled life, you can't really say whether it's biological or botanical. So it could evolve either way. So if that's the case, looking back, then what is there to say there's any difference between plant and animals? That's an interesting subject to talk about. You know, maybe in the near future. Change with the sofa, yeah, true. Like I said, you know, like, I'm the only one who uses this room. Oddly enough, you know. No, it doesn't smell. So I don't know, you know. All the kids have grown up. They're doing their own thing, working, come back, have a bite to eat, go to sleep, repeat. And the same here, you know, like, I've got this room to myself. It's like my little safe zone. When I'm knackered, need time to think, I come here and sit down. That's it. Even the cat doesn't come in this room that often. I don't know. I certainly can't smell anything here. So I can't say that, yo, it stinks in here. That's probably why no one comes here. I don't know. Oh, it's Kashim Bey here. Where are you? Say something, man. Raja Ahmed Al-Khuida, I saw a lecture by Dr. Yasir Qadi which suggests Allah the Khaliq mentions in the Quran that He has honoured human over others and He continues to create. He favoured some over others, so perhaps He is referring to aliens only. Allah knows best. Another Muslim scientist mentioned about multidimensional and parallel universe exists when analysing the Prophet's night journey. So there are some evidence out there. Fantastic points raised, Raja Bhai. I was referring to that as well. You see, Amra Bengali, Amra Hoi Shat Ashwan Shat Jomin, for example. You know, it's a common saying our elders used to say. To sort of demonstrate differences between something. Or, you know, you guys must have heard Ashwananzumin Tofat, Forok, or whatever. Now, like I say, you know, like, when I was studying in Madrasa, you know, like, in my early teens, I came across a kitab. I can't remember what it is, my memory is really, really bad, but it also mentioned, or something that points towards, it doesn't clearly say, or maybe the translation isn't as accurate, but it points towards multiple dimensions existing in one plane, if you will. So I could be sat here on a different dimensions. You know, another version of me could be sat here. You know, probably doing his own show. He might have, you know, like more followers than me. I'm jealous. But yeah, you know, there has been a lot of mentions. You know, like scientists also hypothesize, basically saying that everything has a frequency or a vibration rate. So if we were to vibrate at, I don't know, I'm going to pick a number out of thin air. I'm going to say 22 kilohertz. If we, you know, like vibrate at 22 kilohertz, we as in everyone on earth that we know and see, or we can see, if everyone and everything vibrates at 22 kilohertz, and if something else vibrates at a different rate, more than likely we wouldn't actually necessarily see them because they're vibrating out of our range or vibrating lesser than our visual range. So in essence, what that suggests is there can be multiple planes existing, multiple dimensions existing in one plane. But again, you know, that goes really sort of in depth, and it's mind-boggling just to think about it. It's mind-boggling because sometimes it answers a lot of, you know, the theory itself answers a lot of questions. For example, ghost sightings. I'll just use ghost sightings for example. You know, one minute, you know, you see something, the next it's gone. Maybe there was a fluctuation in the vibration, in the frequency. That's why you saw it 1 second and gone. Usually they tend to sort of refer to it as anomalies, possibly. But again, you know, there's no scientific evidence. There are mentions of, you know, theories, but there's no evidence as of yet. But hey, you know, just over 100 years ago we couldn't fly. We looked up at the sky and watched birds fly. Somehow, you know, like some clever clogs, you know, found a way to fly, and now we just take flight for granted. Maybe, you know, like in 100 or 1,000 years' time, you know, people would, you know, eventually discover that it's dead easy to switch your frequency rate to another one, so you can just phase from one place to another and you found yourself in a different dimension. It's not impossible, you know, considering in the past 100 years we had no cars. Now, you know, we've got state-of-the-art self-driving cars. If that's possible, then this is possible. Maybe not in 100 years, perhaps 1,000 years. I don't know. Jackson Mir, who doesn't have phobia towards anything? Right, okay. Yeah, he's referring to Sunny Ahmed Ji. Lenny Sai, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam Lenny. Thank you for joining us. If you've missed most of the show, after we finish, you can go back and, you know, get the best of the show. Okay, fine, you know, like originally what I used to do, I used to have an audience participation show, as in I used to come up with no subjects. I used to come on, start talking and wait for people to comment, and then off their comments I would you know, pick a topic and we'd discuss it. But because this one was a themed topic, we strayed in and out, but we're back on track. We're back on track now. Maya Said says, oh dear, I pressed the wrong button. Maya Said says, I have a comfort zone in the house too. It's nice to have a place to chill on your own. Yes, you know it. Sometimes I sit down, have a cold coffee and think. You know, it just gives you time to think, or, you know, it's just to sort of let the the stress sort of melts away from head to toe. It's just brilliant having your own space. You know, I've got a shed. Probably in the new year I might actually move the studio into the shed and do the shows from the shed. But let's see what we do. Right, Lenny says, I'm an alien, look at my picture. Yes, you are. You're the only public alien I know. One thing you haven't told me is, you know your big beady eyes, do you see like we see, or do you see different in different light spectrums? Do you see an infrared? Do you see an X-ray? Do you have some form of, I don't know, some sort of laser beam coming out of your eyes? Because your eyes are, you know, really, really big, you know, and because they're all fully dark, you can't tell whether you have a lens system whereby, you know, like you can, you know, focus infinity or focus on a single macro point. I'd like to know, because it's interesting. Raju Ahmed, good book to read from Islamic perspective of the universe is from Ibn Khatir, from the beginning to the end, wrote over 1,000 years ago. MashaAllah. That's brilliant, that. Thank you, Raju Bhai. That's something, inshallah, I'll look into. There's also another book I read going back a few years. I can't remember who the author was, but it's a nice thick book, and it basically sort of talks about, you know, our daily things that we do and take for granted, or culturally we do, or from a religious point of view, the do's and don'ts and the reasoning behind it. The book's called the Quran and Modern Science. That was a fantastic book. You know, it's an eye opener. You know, that's a really, really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Sadly, I don't remember most of it, but at the time I thoroughly enjoyed it because I referred back to a certain few chapters because it was so interesting. I had to read it again to absorb more info. Let's see now. I can see Maya G is bashing the like button. Thank you very much, Maya. You know, take care. You don't want to end up with blisters on your thumb. Many, many thanks. And guys, if you haven't liked the page, please go and like it. If you haven't left a review, because I know most of you haven't, and it's probably because, you know, you haven't watched many shows. What you can do, you can either, you know, go on the page and, you know, just scroll down and start watching it from the beginning, as and when you have time. If you enjoy the shows that we do, please leave a review. You know, the review, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's all educational for me. It's all information that actually helps me, you know, gauge how well I'm doing, how bad I'm doing, where I can improve. You know, it gives me hints, you know, hints and pointers, and essentially, you know, it gives me a bit of encouragement in terms of, you know, like I said earlier on in the show, it gives me a bit of encouragement to carry these on. As most of you, you know, are yourselves, you know, very busy, either personal life, work life. Sometimes we bring work to home and so on and so forth. You know, the same is with me. This is my relaxed time, you know, my time to relax, and I just think that the best way, you know, I enjoy, you know, doing these shows and with you guys, you know, because this is my chill out. So if you guys enjoy it, leave a review, leave suggestions, leave comments, you know, maybe even suggest, you know, like different topics to talk about. And then, you know, if there are certain topics, I mean, there are definitely certain topics that I haven't got any idea about, you know, I can always try and find someone. Always try and find someone who actually specializes or works in that field, and I can always invite them over to, you know, have a chit chat with us and answer your questions live. Oh, mashallah, we've got Tuha Chaudhry, a classmate. Assalamu alaikum. Tuha Mahmood, Tikasuni bata. How are you doing? Kita khobor shobor. Auto busy ফাঁকে ফাঁকে দেখাই নিবা না অনেক বেড টাইমে শেষ কাম তো কমেন্ট করবা আজকের বিষয় হইছে কি আমরা কি এই মহাশূন্যের মাঝে আমরা কি একা মহাশূন্যের মাঝে আর কোনো প্রাণী আসেনি আর তৃতীয় প্রশ্ন হইছে কি ইউএফও দেখছো নিবা বা এমন কি মানুষ জানো যে কেউ ইউএফও দেখছে করি এটা সম্বন্ধে আমরা কিছু কমেন্ট দেবো let's get some comments in about UFOs and মানুষের idea, you know, what people think, you know, is it imagination, is it reality, where how, who. Keep those comments coming. Keep those comments coming. Let's see. Chinese guy showing angry face. Hoiba Chinese guy angry face koi dahe rahe wo. You know to Lenny say khali daat pa hoi rahe raida. Where is Lenny? Can't see no angry face. Okie dokie. Oh, Chinese guy's got a parrot disco drone. Tell us about that. Maybe you can, you know, like put some silver foil around it and turn it into a UFO. Tell us about your drone, bro. What you intend to use it for. You know, are you going to be a peeping Tom? Spy on your neighbours? Maybe even use it as a delivery service. You know, order your chicken tikka masala. You know, have enough space on it, or you know, a hook to put a bag on. You know, just enough weight to carry 2 curries. You know, like a chicken tikka masala and a madras with 1 pilla rice and 1 garlic naan or something, and then you take it from point A to point B. Don't know. Tell us. Maya said, has anyone actually seen an alien? Good question. Has anyone seen an alien? Here's a question for you guys. You know, like when people say they've seen jinn and so on and so forth, could they be classed as alien? What do you think? Chinese video about his drone. Hopefully get some awesome views. Travels 40 miles per hour. That's very fast, that. Oh, I'm Raju Ahmed by this one after YouTube link. Right. I've got to check that out, Raju Bhai. Where is it? Gonna check that out. Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. Let's see what this has to say. Oh, I have to copy it. Okay, I'll have a look at that after the show. So, like I say, so far, no one has seen an alien. Just to sort of try and, you know, tie up the show. No one has seen an alien. We've had, I'm just trying to cast my memory back, it's so bad it doesn't go very far. Someone said, oh yeah, Mizan Bhai said that he and his dad, you know, saw UFO roughly about 20 odd years ago, but sadly Mizan Bhai didn't leave any details of, you know, of the incident, you know, weather condition, where they saw it, what type, what shape, you know, any description, any sound, or any discernible visuals. You know, he just basically said they've seen it, and sadly I think he's gone off. Maybe Khamer Mazet Anderson, don't know. Maybe Mizan Bay, you know, if you're watching this after work and you get to this point in the video, or you can hang on until you get to the point of the video, you know, please share your experiences, you know, in the comment after the video, and you know, I'm sure our viewers would have the opportunity to read it as well. The same goes for everyone else. You know, if you guys want to leave, you know, maybe your experiences or maybe your thoughts of aliens, alien life forms, maybe, you know, like a simple thing like, you know, in Earth's gravity, it allows us to be a certain height, be a certain stature. Maybe, you know, we can look at it from a different point of view. For example, in Europe we end up having stocky, you know, well-built people because of the colder climate. In the warmer climate, for example, in Asia, we tend to have people of an average height of 5 foot or even less. This is because it's a genetic makeup which actually takes us to the ideal configuration, if you will, for life in that environment. So Europeans, like the Swedes, for example, they're a certain height, they're a certain type of build. Maybe it's because of, you know, the pressure. Gravity essentially is the same everywhere, all around the world. Otherwise, you know, people will jump and never come back. They'll just float off out into space. But depending on, you know, various different environmental influences, it's actually sort of shaped us shaped us the way we are, simply because of, you know, what continent we grew up in, what situation. For example, you know, we come from warmer climate, and therefore we have more pigments in our skin, which actually acts as a sunscreen, if you will. Whereas our European counterparts, they get sunlight, but because of the climate, they don't need that much sunscreen. So therefore, naturally, they are fair-skinned. So using that as an example, you know, if on planet Earth we have the same species, humans, Homo sapiens, same species evolving differently according to their environmental needs. If that's the case, and we can observe that here on Earth, now imagine what life would be on a different planet based on, you know, their environmental needs. For example, you know, on the moon, you know, gravity is less on the moon, so we can lift more heavy stuff, we can jump higher, whereas on Mars gravity is more or less the same, slightly more maybe, but the air temperature and the pressure is high. So therefore, you know, unless, you know, Mars is terraformed, or essentially, you know, has a lot of green plants to actually produce more oxygen, because there's too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, to a point where it's poisonous to us. So once we terraform or change, you know, or adapt, that's the only time when we can go and live there. But if we were to take these small factors into our into our calculation or imagination, we can then, you know, sort of come up with a rough idea of what other life forms could look like in different scenarios, different environments. Let's see now. Chinese way of it, the best Alien. Um, Alien, I miss it. E.T. Oh yeah, that's a good film. It's a good film, and it's fairly realistic, but definitely for our environment, small legs like that, isn't really beneficial because you're not going to run very far, are you? You know, with our normal stride, you'd literally be running, and we'll still overtake you with just our normal stride. But the mental telepathy thing would come in handy, definitely. Okay, fair enough. Right, guys, children, don't fight over who wants to be my number one fan. You're all my number one fan. All of you, yes, every single special one of you are my number one fans. And I'm your number one fan as well because you're my fan. Fan for fan, exchange. You know the score. You know the score. Right, okay. So before we close up, we're hitting the 2 hour mark. In the future, what I'm going to try and do is sort of aim for the program to be more focused and to the point where we actually have a discussion, rather than me waffling on for a while, going off tangent. Hopefully that way we can actually have a productive program and more engaging. So next program, I'll let you guys know when I'll be coming on. Obviously in December, from the second week of December, I'm going to be very busy, obviously with work. And as you guys know, I work in an advertising company as well, so I've been very busy, leading up to this. So hopefully, let's see how it goes. So I'll let you guys know of the next topic, or whether I'm going to have an open forum where just like Agir Show Holto Zero Hombabe, open, unscripted, no topic in mind, just come in, good evening, welcome, let the comments start rolling. So I'll let you guys know what we're going to do. We found that good suggestion about mental health, safeguarding. These are fantastic topics and essential topics that we need to discuss about. And hopefully I'll let you guys know, inshallah, soon. Which programs we'll be doing, and we'll take it from there. And sometimes we're going to try and keep the shows as open, and let's see how it goes. Let's see. Right, okay. It's a good thing to see the kids have stopped fighting. Tuhajo de mamu, sorry, busy. No problem, mamu. Busy horo. Khali amra fetter to fikar hotoy. Jackson Mia. The next topic should be on life of doppelganger twins and the existence and is their life of duplicate. Right, okay. That's an interesting topic. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's an enigma. It's a bit of a mystery, as in twins, identical twins, essentially one finishing the other sentence, whether they work on whether they have a telepathic link. It's a tough topic because it leads into more like what do they call it? I think they call it parascience. I can't remember, to be honest with you, but it moves on to like weird science, fringe science. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but if I were to talk about that topic, then we'll have to talk about MK Ultra, mind control, various other bits and pieces that has been evidenced throughout history, Maybe that could be a good topic to chat about. Let's see. Yeah. Chinese way of reading. Open will be a better, more participants, no sitting ducks, and ain't that right, Maya? Quack quack. Spectators are good. Fair enough. Fair enough. The public has spoken. So let me know, guys. What do you want to do? In future, do you want me to have an open forum where I just come in, sit down, and wait for your comments and go off on that tangent, or if you'd like me to do themed a topic related show every now and then and have more of an open one? Yeah, let me know, guys. And we've hit 12 o'clock, just past 12, and I think most of you should be in bed by now. What are you still doing here? I need to go to bed as well, but before I do, I need to have a quick snack, and then up and early to work, and then come back to work and repeat. Thank you, guys, for joining me this evening. As already everyone has had an enjoyable evening. Maybe not as funny as usual, but sadly I couldn't find anything to laugh about when we're talking about evolution of life, and couldn't come up with many jokes relating to that topic, so that's probably why it was a bit bland. But inshallah. Oh, Chinese man will come on the show. That's good. Come on over, bro. Yeah, come on over. It'll be an interesting chat. Maya said, yeah, go live. I'm a night owl. Yes. Thank you for the show. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. The pleasure was all mine. Rajamuda, good night. Jackson, I'm also a night owl. Yes. But sadly, can you not tell? My eyes have dried up. I'm so cream crackered. But it was well worth it. Like spending time with you guys. It was fantastic. End of. There's no other way of describing it. Anyway, guys, love you and leave you. And inshallah, I'll see you next show. Bala Assalamu alaikum.